Hello, I'm Wade Gerard, owner and creator of Middletwin, and today I just want to talk about how I started Middletwin and why. So, back in about 2010, I started to get involved with a local car club here in the Twin Cities called Midwest Mopars. And Midwest Mopars, they put on a show every year called Mopars in the Park, which was one of my favorite car shows to go to. And so I had gone to the show for several years, but in 2010 I began helping out and volunteering for the show. And I started out, I helped with parking of show cars. And then the next year, I assumed the duties of parking the show cars for the show. And which is kind of normal when you start to volunteer for a club. And if you do a good job, you get more duties as assigned, is how we joke about it. But while I was helping out and getting to know the people that were putting on the show, I came to learn that a lot of the show, a lot of the processes that worked on that caused the show to work, pre-registration, voting, and things like that, were all done manually using paper and pencil or Excel spreadsheets. And when they learned that I was a software engineer, they asked if I could help out with kind of updating some of these processes to make them work a little bit better, especially since the show had become a national car show and started taking in a lot of cars. And I think at that time, around 2010, 2011, I think it was about 800 cars that were registering for the show and showing up. And so I started. The first thing I did was I made a system for registering the cars that didn't use Excel. So, as a web application developer, I created a web application, which is basically just it works through a web browser, um, and uh, and collecting the data in the web browser rather than Excel. So, for the person that was doing the data entry, it wasn't too different of a process. Um, and then once all the data was in there, then I was able to basically create a system for entering in ballots and votes for all those vehicles that were in the system, and then we were able to get the results once all the ballots had been tallied. The prior to that, they were using large pieces of cardboard, and if you think about it, they had 50 car classes and about 800 cars that show up, so you could get 800 ballots with 50 votes on each ballot. And so prior to that, they were doing this all manually on large pieces of cardboard in a room using a marker to make tally marks as people read off votes off of these ballots. And so with my system, they were now able to use a keyboard with a number pad on it and do keypad entry to get all the votes in. And they could get through all of the ballots in about 30 minutes versus 3 hours. And so it sped everything up. And then it also, at the end, after all the tallying was complete, we knew not only the car number that had been the award-winning cars, but also the name of the person that had registered the car and the type of car. So at the awards, they were able to say the people's names rather than just car numbers. So it really improved the process overall in doing that. And then every year as the car show went on, I kept adding new features to the software to help out with various areas in the car show. And then I eventually also added car club management to be able to manage the membership into the software as well, and email communications and online registrations that use credit cards. And so was able to really make a pretty good product that helped out our show and our club. And then some other car clubs started taking notice of the software that I had created, and so we started using it, or I started opening it up to other car clubs and allowing them to use it. And it's just grown from there. And for me, I've been an entrepreneur. I've had a couple of different companies. So cars are my passion. I enjoy working with car clubs. I enjoy going to car shows. And I enjoy software development and technology. And so it's just sort of a good marriage for me to be able to put the passions that are important to me together into a product and build a company around it. And so yeah, so I think for any car club, any size, and any car show, any size, I know Middletwin will work. And I'd love to have the opportunity to prove that. And even for non-car clubs, there's some applications as well. I recently added a feature that allows a car club to basically have an online or develop an online picker to allow people to purchase swap spaces online the same way you would pick movie theater seats or airline seats. But it's picking swap spaces. But it works for other things as well, like picking camping spaces or things like that. And so I think there's opportunities there for non-car clubs to actually use the software as well, and that's what I'm finding. But regardless, I would love to have the opportunity to sit down and do a demo and show this to any car club or car show that's interested in using a technology like this. And what's great about it is you're able to use the software where you want to. So you meet the software. You can continue kind of integrating some of the manual processes into the flow, and it works perfectly fine. So it's just kind of the software meets you where you're at. And what's nice too is that when people that are within the management of the show or the car club are retiring and moving on or leaving for whatever reason, somebody new can come in and use a piece of software that's already set up, already ready to go, is well documented, and has the ability to call somebody, me, for some help if needed. So I think it's I'm biased, but I think it's a really good software for lots of different car clubs. So, but yeah, give me a call and set up a demo, and I'll show you the software, and we can go from there. I can show you how it can help you. So thanks. Bye.